Is that you just want me to start talking? Or are we on?
We're on.
Hey, thanks, great. Thank you, Nick Stavansky. Hello, everybody. My name is Dave Bigham, and welcome to National Flooring Equipment's presentation of the A96 and A97 shot blaster. We're going to go over some of the differences between the two and see if we can't identify which machine might fit your application by understanding some of the differences of the machine. We'll also talk a little bit about the value prop of each machine, specifically related to its application. So we're also going to run the A97 when we're done. We're going to do a quick live demonstration of the machine running. So these machines from your distant shot look very similar. They both have this really awesome feature that I'm super excited about, which is the ergonomic controls. So everybody's used to an old machine with just a handle, and when you go to turn or turn around, you end up kind of walking sideways because you need to keep your grip. So you do a lot of sideways walking, which is kind of awkward. With this new design, this actually turns. I hope you guys can see that from a distance. So why is that a big deal? I can actuate my machine here with a trigger. I've got my reverse button and my overdrive button all with one hand. And when I go to turn, I can turn this and I'm still typically walking forward instead of sideways. So as an operator, look, if anybody's ever been behind a shot blaster for 10 hours and walk backwards all day, it's tough. What's worse is when you spend about a quarter of that time doing the side step shuffle. This eliminates that. This makes it a lot easier for the operator, and it's a lot more comfortable, and it really speeds you up because the machine's moving and you can keep up with it a lot easier. This is also height adjustable, and it's positionable. So if you want it pointed down or up for some reason, because that's what makes us all special, is we're all different, you actually have that option. So you can adjust this pitch and you can adjust the handle height. So short guy like me, I make up for it width, but I'm short. I want it low. I've got some tall guys out there in my audience. They're going to want it up higher so it's more comfortable. It's a nice little feature. So with the 3396, this machine is equipped with a 5.3 horsepower motor and has an 8-inch blast pattern. It's also 230 volt single phase. So if you step up to a little bit larger machine, which is the A97, this machine is going to do a little less than 1,000 square feet an hour of production because of the size of the motor, and that's just what you should expect out of your production. When you step up to a A97, now we have a 10 horsepower motor and we have a 10-inch pattern. So we're cooking it along at about 2,000 square feet an hour with brush blast. Ladies and gentlemen, that's moving right along for a machine this size. It's not very heavy, and it's compact enough where I can get into pretty tight spaces. It has a cord management system similar to the A96, so you can put your cord and your hose into it. Some of the real technical stuff, mostly directed to guys that have ever tried to adjust a shot valve. That can be very difficult, it can be very tedious, time consuming, and frustrating. I'm pulling too many amps, I'm not pulling enough amps. The engineering department at National Flooring Equipment is amazing. They have actually incorporated a shot valve limiter bolt. So if I throw open my shot valve and it's pulling 36 amps on my 30 amp breaker, that's bad, right? I could just adjust my bolt in. If I open up my shot valve all the way and I'm only pulling 12 amps, I'm not getting very good production. Things are slowing down, and I really need to be pulling 27, 28 amps up to 30 amps. I can also adjust that bolt with, a simple, any kind of simple tools, and it makes that adjustment so simple and so quick, so you can fine tune it. If you change from 230 shot to 390 shot, it's going to change your pattern, it's going to change your amps. Depending on how well your dust collector is working, it's going to change your amp drop. Well, I can make a quick adjustment to overcome that really simply. Why we're talking about the A97, I want to talk about another feature that's absolutely amazing. And I know you can't see it from the video, so you're just going to have to put a little trust into me. This machine is leaning over to one side. So if you're standing right in front of it, it's leaning over. Why would National build a machine that leans to one side? Because this machine has the ability to remove 2 bolts and remove the side magnet from the leaning side and put a edging plate on the machine. And because that machine is leaning over, it's clearing all of the electrical that's on the wall, whatever pipes, whatever sticking out on the wall, AV cables, you name it. It's actually clearing that. So what does this mean? This means that over a long period of time, and even on one job, most of the time, depending on the spec, that cuts out all of the grinding that you have to do on your hands and knees with a 7-inch grinder with a convertible shroud. I don't know if anybody that's watching this has ever been on their hands and knees with a 7-inch grinder with a cup wheel and a shroud and a vacuum. It's tough work, guys. And if you can eliminate that just on one job, and imagine on every job, that right there, I think probably pays for the machine in no time. Just the fact that you've taken away that one labor guy and all of that hard work. I meant to say too that if you guys want to chat, you can chat in and ask questions, and I can answer those. We've got National Flooring Equipment's marketing department, specifically Nick Stefanski behind me. So he's watching the incoming communication, so feel free to ask questions. We're going to actually run the machine, the 97, because I've got it ready to go. And after a quick demonstration of how it runs, I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to take that edging magnet off, the side left magnet off, and install the edging plate so you guys can see how quick and easy that happens. So I'm going to move the 96 out of the way, and then we're going to fire up the 97 real quick. I got to throw on my power. All right, so I'm going to turn the motors on in the vacuum. So it's going to get pretty loud. You might not be able to hear me, but you guys can watch the quick demonstration. I'll shut the machine off and open it up for questions. Yeah. You want me to go this way? Start the blast motor. how about now, Nick? Can you see it?
I'll come up at the end of the video.
Okay.
And do a comparison.
I'm going to turn it around so we can put the edging plate on. If that's all right. So I'm going to show you guys how to install this edging plate real quick. First thing I'm going to do is disconnect the power. So it's always a good idea. This is what your edging plate looks like. In order to install this, we're just going to remove these two bolts right here. It's going to take off the entire side magnet. Half inch. There's one. There's your magnet. We're going to set it off to the side. If you guys can see, can you see that, Nick? Is that okay? This is just going to fit right in here. And normally I tighten it up a little bit, but you don't want it tight because you want it to float as you go over high spots, joints, or low and high spots on the floor. You want this to be able to move. So now, how close am I to the wall? The width of the plate and the width of the housing and your liners inside. So not very far away from the wall. It's pretty amazing. And then when you're ready to switch back, you just pull this off. I store it right there. Put your magnet back on, go back to regular work. I hope you guys can see some of the value in this and see how important this works and what a great feature this is on this machine. And if you've got any questions, feel free to call the 800 number on the screen. And if you want to talk to me specifically, just ask for one of them to hook you up with me. I'm Dave Bigham.
We're going to show the blast pattern too.
Oh, going to show the blast pattern?
Yeah.
Is there any questions from the audience? Any live questions?
Don't think so. We'll give it a minute to catch up.
We'll give it just a minute to catch up to see if there's any specific questions about the 96 or the A97, which is National's Apex Blasting Series of shot blasters. While we're waiting, thanks for joining us, and thanks for tuning in. And I want to thank everybody for their business and their time today. All right, thank you. See you guys again soon.